Hey, it's JT from TheTotalGamer.com, welcoming you to The Edge. We have a fantastic show lined up for you this week, showcasing the best of what you, the gamer, have been doing in the world of video game capping. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Hey there, YouTube. Blogman62, back with a probably fairly informal review of Need for Speed Shift. Here we go. Let's shift into gear. First off, as always, I'll talk about the story. The story in this game, I kind of feel bad for giving it any knock because this game is more of a sim racer than any of the past Need for Speed experiences. So, if I was to knock it for not really having any story whatsoever, then you would also have to say that Forza, Gran Turismo, and games like in that branch of games also suck because they don't have a story. So pretty much just kind of do the races, get points, get cars, and get faster cars to race against faster cars and earn more points at a time, pretty much like any good sim racer should do. So I'll just kind of just say good story. Graphics. I believe that's what I usually talk about next. Holy crap, the game looks freaking amazing. A friend of mine bought Forza 3 the day it came out and had just played this and was disappointed in the graphics of Forza 3 from playing this. I'm not saying that standing still the game looks better, but as far as an in-motion, just pretty game to look at, this trumps any racing game I've ever played in past, and I'm quite a big fan of racing games, so Need for Speed Shift looks awesome. I can't really sum it up any other way. If you are okay with using the in-car cam, it is definitely the way to play, because, man, does it look cool, the head bob and everything that they were hyping all about. They had a good reason to hype about. Really, really neat effect. When you get into a wreck, it'll go all blurry and takes a little bit to clear up and goes kind of black and white, and that's really cool. So, moving on to the sound of the game, the cars themselves sound amazing. I'm not sure if they did like Forza supposedly does and actually recorded for different cars, but you definitely can tell that more powerful feel of the more powerful cars just off their sound especially. The soundtrack kind of doesn't really play whenever you're actually racing, at least I never noticed it playing. Now I think about it, I'm not positive. Probably should check. Anyway, I tried throwing on some of my own music and it didn't quite fit. I ended up just going with the engine-only guy commentating and kind of telling me what's up. And it's just a really cool feel. You actually feel like you're just blaring through these tracks, and the cars have almost kind of a distorted sound to them whenever you get the louder cars, and it's really cool. And the tires have a good squall to them, and it's not obnoxious and sounds realistic. Just great sound effects across the board. Good music when you're in the menus, and I can't think of anything else to talk about on sound, so let's move to gameplay. This is really the kind of bread and butter of any game, of course, and it's not lacking in this game at all. Whenever I started playing, the first thing that I thought of was, okay, a sim-type racer doing drifting. And a sim-type racer with all these kind of ups and downs on how you can tune to racing yourself. You start out by racing on a course that basically says, here, we're going to see which driver assists you need. And no matter what, you always race with a driving line on, because part of point scoring is seeing how much you follow the line or how much you don't. And it's light enough that you honestly, if you're not into following the driving line, you probably won't even notice it, and then we'll realize that you drive the driving line most of the time anyway, and it doesn't matter. So you kind of go between precision and aggressiveness on your driving, and this is kind of your style, I think is what they call it, but it's basically consists of whether or not you like just slamming into the back of a dude to pass him, or if you like kind of trying to get out around him. And in more cases than none, you're better off to try to just do it the smooth way and just get out around them, because the AI can be very aggressive once it gets hacked off at you. And also, on top of that, you have a very good chance of screwing yourself up and wrecking, trying to spin someone else. So generally, you're better to just pass, because it's really frustrating to get to the very end of a race, go to pass a guy, and then screw yourself over and have to restart the whole thing. So you kind of get going, and then before long you get into drift. Now in drift, I'm not even sure they really change it much. You don't have that like sliding on snot thing that most games do when you go to drifting. It's actually pretty difficult, but once you figure it out, it is probably the most fun thing in the game. I actually did a ton of just free races in this, and it was just really good fun. You basically will actually want to get a slower car so that you can control it in the corners and just go from there. Speaking of slower cars, I had a pretty decked out drift car, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about customization. It's not the level of just being able to put almost anything that Forza 3 was, but for those of you out there, and I'm sure there's a good chunk of you out there who wasn't into making like a 6-hour mural on the side of your car, Need for Speed Shift basically has kind of that mixed with the old school like underground type of customization, and that's perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better on the customization, except for maybe a different way of rotating around your car rather than having to select regions and just saying I want to put something on my car and moving it where you want. But other than that, you have body kits, and it's more like just 3 body kits, and you just kind of pick the one you want. And then after you fully deck out a car, upgrades and everything, which is also a lot of fun to do, you can do a works conversion, which basically turns it into a race car, and it's like $350,000, sometimes more, sometimes less, just depends on your car. And that's a lot of fun too, because then it, is just an extra incentive. Also worth mentioning, anything you buy in this game except for a works conversion can be sold back with exactly what you paid for it. So the game definitely encourages you to kind of experiment with what cars you got and stuff. I remember switching out several times, and then eventually landing on what I really wanted, and then spending a lot of time painting it up and making it my current car for that thing and leaving it at that. So lastly, I'll talk about multiplayer. In multiplayer, you also earn money and experience towards your driver level, which caps at 50. And each time you level up, you'll get more stuff to use or more money, just certain things like that. So, final, I will say, if you're into sim racers, then you can shut all the assists off and love the crap out of this game, because it definitely is difficult like a sim racer should be. If you're not a fan of sim racers and kind of like the arcade racers more, if you turn all the assists up in this, it feels like an old school Need for Speed game. To the truth, you may have to mess with the control sensitivities and stuff a little bit, but it can easily feel just like those. So, any type of racing fan, feel welcome to this game. And on top of that, it's a very good lengthy game with plenty of multiplayer replay and just fun drift events to do. So all in all, I would say if you're into racing games and just want one game this year, Need for Speed Shift is probably your best bet. Final rating, 9 out of 10.
Alpha Bravo, this is base. What's your 20?
Mayday! Chopper down! Crew dead! Request immediate evac!
Copy that, Alpha Bravo. Search and rescue inbound. Base to Alpha Bravo. We're tracking unknown movement in your vicinity. What's your 20? Alpha Bravo, come in. Alpha Bravo, do you read?
You should not be here.
Game Meets Girl and GamesOnSmash.com, and today I'm reviewing Guitar Hero 5. Plot. Begin and end. Rock out. Simple. Gameplay. You've played this before. It's Guitar Hero 4. It's Guitar Hero Metallica. It's Band Hero. It's everything, but instead of being downloadable content, it's a whole new game. Okay, the changes are very subtle. They added party mode, which throws you into a song and you can join in and drop out keys. That's something pretty useful, actually, in a party environment. You have custom characters, new outfits, blah blah blah, same old stuff. Oh, when you have to manually adjust the settings to sync it up with your HD TV. All of the songs are unlocked at the start, so you don't have to mindlessly play through career mode. But then again, why play through the career mode at all? They pretty much took out that whole motivation. Now you can play any 4 instruments at the same time, like 4 lead guitarists, because that's what all bands did. Imagine hearing your favorite song rocked out with only 1 instrument by 4 different people.
Is this real life?
Here's a breakdown. Music studio equals we're bored and we can't play real instruments. Career mode equals useless. Avatar in-game equals gimmick. When I'm playing most songs, I notice that my magical guitar can play keyboard and brass instruments all within the same strokes. Either Activision wants players to button mash more, or their programmers don't know the difference between a keyboard and the guitar. At least you can use Rock Band instruments to play Guitar Hero 5, because I know in the past, Guitar Hero was very picky about sharing. Graphics. It looks the same as previous Guitar Heroes. You can play as your 360 avatar, but you can't customize it at all. Sucks. Now they made everything on the screen smaller, either to copy Rock Band or to get children to lose their eyesight to the scrolling circles of color. Mommy, why is the world scrolling? Don't you just love that video crowd of all the same 4 people jumping around? Who knew clones loved Guitar Hero? By the way, look at this fantastic box art. It looks like the Guitar Hero logo poorly photoshopped onto some stock footage of an amp. Then they littered it with text. Advertising itself makes it look just plain tacky. The comic booky animations to try to attempt the story is pretty laughable. Like the artwork itself, it isn't funny. But how they think it's going to give the story a reason to play the career mode is just sad. Sound. Out of all of these amazing new tracks, I can only bear to enjoy a few of them. The others I either already have and love in Rock Band, or they just flat out bore me. There is a good side to the sound. It accents the dynamics of each instrument better than Rock Band does. To really hear that percussion or guitar stand out in a track is really rewarding. Female opinion. It's another music game, but to be frank, I'm over-reviewing the same game over and over again. Come on, Guitar Hero, be smart. Yes, I like music games, but seriously, who has money for every one of your games? Guitar Hero 1 through 5, Metallica, AC/DC, Van Halen, Guitar Hero 80s, and now Band Hero. For real. Girls who like music games will like this game, sure, but they have experienced it all before. I loved Guitar Hero 1 and 2 with a passion. It had many amazing memories for me, but why do you have to ruin it and mush up all the good songs with the bad? Let's talk about music game franchises. Guitar Hero, in particular, likes to make the same game over and over again with minor new features and no downloadable content, really. Do they even make downloadable content anymore? It's a terrible thing. They'll make a disc full of new music that you may or may not like. In comparison to Rock Band comes out with new songs every Tuesday for Xbox Live. You can buy the tracks if you want. You don't have to buy the tracks. I think that makes the game more customizable to you and makes you want to play it more. Considering you don't have to spend, $60 for a new disc of maybe 20 songs you may like. I think it's worth it. What do you guys think? To be honest, I think Guitar Hero now is overrated, especially now that they're coming out with Band Hero, DJ Hero, all these hero games, which are gonna be boring. So, if I were you guys, I'm gonna rate you in stars, Guitar Hero, like you rate my song. Overall, I give it 2.5 stars out of 5. It's a little short of average. To be honest, this could have all been downloadable content. Unless you're a collector of the series, I suggest you don't waste your money. Games on Smash? Give me say what?
Alright everybody, your boy Versus here. Welcome to my channel. Every now and then I try to bring you a different game other than Madden or NHL or NBA Live. I try to get out of the sports games every now and then. So this game that I'm showing you is called Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. Now this game is very, very tactical. It's not your typical run and gun type shooter like Gears of War or Wet or any of those type of shooters where you just run with the R trigger held down. You have to use tactical moves in this game. You have your guys here to help you. You have your compass up top, and if I hold the B button, I have my my weapons that I start off with: my combat knife, assault rifle, pistol, grenades, detonator, binoculars, field dressing. This field dressing dresses wounds, stops bleeding for yourself or for your guys over here. Now, the terrain in this game is very, very large. If I hit the select button here, it shows exactly where I am and where my objectives are. If I pull it back, you can see how large this terrain is. You have like a Humvee, and then you can run. But if you choose to run, it's going to take you a while to get to your objectives. Certain icons here that are blue are like friendlies. It shows houses and other things, satellites. The good thing about this map is that you can call orders on a certain object before they're in your sight. For example, there were these two Humvees, as you can see right here. These two Humvees, my team was like way up here, and I pulled this map up, and I called an order for these Humvees before they even came down the road to attack which one first and which one second. So when they did come into sight, my team already had their orders, which one to hit and which one to hit first. So that's a good thing about this game. This game captures the essence of being on the battlefield. Those are not my words. Those are words of a guy who I talked to, who actually been in the military, and I talked to him about this game. He came to my job to rent it, and we talked about it. And his words were, this game captures the essence of actually being on the battlefield. The terrain does look good. It doesn't look like the phony type of grass, that's just cheap, that's just thrown in there. I played games like Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six. This this game is on a different level. Not too much better than this game, but it is better than those games. This game also gives you the option to call in an airstrike. which is the first time I've seen this in a game. Not saying that it has never been in a game, but this is the first time I've had it in a game that I've played. And as you can see here are my options right here to call in two different types of airstrikes here. Now, also you have you can have a full metal jacket, or you can pop your grenades in. Obviously, it's for this type of weapon only. You also have, let's see if I can get to it. You have your orders that you can call for your team. And right here, there's a lot of different types of orders you can call. If I go into it, you can call defensive, offensive, fire, movement, follow you, move fast. So I can call follow me. Your objectives are on screen. As you can see there, and they let you know exactly how far away you are from them. This objective is 561 meters. Again, you have to be tactical. For example, if I'm sitting here and there's an enemy that's like, let's say he's 300 yards away, that's laying on the ground, he will just lay there, and he will wait until you run out of patience to get up and run. So in other words, if I was just to run out here and I would get shot, and I step back and I pull out my binoculars and see that the enemy is laying on the ground, I can stand here for 20 minutes and he won't move, and he will just wait for me to lose patience and run out. Then he'll keep shooting me. So you have to be tactical, and you have to call orders like have your guys flank him, come from behind him, or whatever. And you have to you have to use everything that's available to you. I'm just going to run up here and see if I can get some enemies, show you some enemies. As you can see, you can run. I reached my checkpoint. Your guy will obviously get tired. Now I'm at 450 meters. My guys will follow me. Let's see if I can run up here. Just want to show you a little bit of this game. I have to go up this terrain here. They have the rocks. They have cliffs. They have the roads. I mean, this is a good game, and I'm not too much into these military type tactical games because I don't really have too much time to put into them. This game, you gotta put some hours into it, a lot of hours into it. So you can see you receive your intel to let you know what to do and how to do it. As you can see, there's a tank up there. So you can see, obviously, I'm not making too much of a dent on this tank. As you can see, your teammates will also, they'll use their binoculars and call out exactly where gunners are, snipers are, which is pretty good. They're not just useless as just running around and shooting, you know, at random things. As you can see, I just got sniped. So you can see how much patience you have. This is not your average run and gun type of game. You have to be patient and put in the work. Obviously, I was stupid there. I just tried to run and show you a little bit of the action and how much patience you have and how to be tactical. With a tank like that, you just can't run up on it, obviously. So, in conclusion, this game is definitely worth renting, at least worth renting. I'm going to buy this game, but considering that I'm not too much into these military type games that much, I probably will buy it used, wait till the price drop on it. But if you are into those type of games, considering how I feel about this, and considering that at my job, everyone who rented this game fell in love with it, and I've had a lot of people tell me to pick this game up. A lot of my viewers and a lot of people at my job, again, that come in and rent these games, that are in love with games like this, Tom Clancy's, Splinter Cell, all those tactical type of games. They recommend this game, so definitely pick it up. Out of 10 stars, I'll give it an 8, only because I'm not into these games that much. But I'm pretty sure anyone who is into these games would definitely give it a 9.5 to 10 stars.
shells inbound. Foxtrot Squad, we're local. Prepare for engagement. Everyone keep your eyes peeled. There's a sniper in the area. Bravo Squad, we are in the red zone. Both objectives are lost. Retreat! Man down! Check it up, let's check it. Hey, we gotta get on top of this thing. They're tearing us apart. Medic! Get out now! Looks like it's gonna collapse. 40 movement to the circle. This is 06, closing in from 2 miles, right to gas station.
Hey gamers, it's K-Wing here, and the lovable crazed rabbits are back once again. Yeah, baby. I always knew these zany bunnies would excel in their own game, and Rabbids Go Home for the Wii has shed its party game undies to go back to the Rayman series roots, although without Rayman. The story for the game starts out with the bunnies in a junkyard. One bunny sees the moon and has an epiphany, thinking that somehow the moon is the bunny's real home. So they decide to build a Tower of Babel of their own, tall enough to send them to the moon. Rabbids Go Home is an action-adventure platforming game where players take the command of 2 bunnies in a grocery cart. The goal of the game is to collect 1,000 items per level. Each item is highlighted in white circles, and the Rabbids can collect just about anything, even the clothing right off the civilians' backs. Scattered throughout the game are tuba bunnies. These guys are the checkpoint guards, if you will, and it's a good idea to give them all the junk you have on hand. After beating the first zone, players are brought to the city, which acts as the hub for this game. The city itself changes over the course of the game, depending on how much stuff your rabbits have stolen from the humans. The humans eventually get sick and tired of you stealing all their stuff, and decide to fight back with the Verminators. Each Verminator is different, and players can tell their strength by the color they wear. As you progress through the game too, you have the ability to upgrade your bunny's powers, like a speed boost, jet skiing on water, health upgrades, and so much more. Now, Rabbids Go Home does have some mini-games, and it goes about it in a very funny way. Inside each Wiimote is a crazy rabbit, and you can do lots of things to it that PETA wouldn't approve of. New to the series is literally creating your own rabbit, which is awesome! Players have the option of making 89 rabbit figurines in total, and even earning 12 unlockable bunny costumes too. The gameplay for the Rabbids differs a lot compared to their last incarnations. However, this game has enough of a challenge for hardcore players, and with its pick-up-and-play gameplay mechanics, it's easy enough for casual gamers too. Players control 2 bunnies at the same time. You move the bunny around with the joystick and make him go faster by holding in the A button. The bunny in the carriage can do a yell attack by swinging the Wiimote. And you can also launch a rabbit at your enemies by tapping the Z button. They are very useful for knocking down obstacles and blowing up stuff too. Each level focuses on collecting the items, bringing them to the checkpoints, and obtaining the XL item to complete that stage. Then it just keeps going and going and going, like a demented Energizer bunny. I said bunny. Sometimes the developers will throw you a curveball and twist just about how you're supposed to pick up all the junk, like floating in air with a bubble sick guy, adding racing elements, riding on inner tubes down a mountain with lots of cactuses, tilted environments, which I hated, water levels, and my personal favorite is riding on a jet turbine. Sweet! Still, this game isn't without its flaws. The only reason people say this game gets really repetitive is because it feels like it has no end. I'm serious, just when you think you're near the end of the game, the Chief Bunny still points at the city and off you go again and again. Not to say Ubisoft doesn't up the ante for each level, they so do. And though you are revisiting, say, a hospital again, things aren't always what they appear. Rabbids Go Home does have some long load times though, yet they cleverly hide it by having the bunnies run down the sewer pump over and over again with the item that you just collected. My last complaint with this game is the fixed camera. Now again, this doesn't become a big concern until way later in the game when you can't move the camera around to see where you're going. But it does become a pain when you're trying to collect all 1,000 items, which that in itself is not even worth the trouble because you don't get anything extra for your hard-earned effort of collecting all the items. No new present, nothing. You just get like a little stamp. What are you kidding me? I get a stamp? Actually, you only have to collect like 910 items in order to get all 4 presents. So as I said before, it's not even worth it. Alright, calm down. This game does have a lot more good stuff than bad. Let's first start with the actual visuals for this game. This is one incredible looking Wii game, and Ubisoft has played it to the Wii's strengths and then some. The game's visuals take cue from the Industrial Revolution that happened around the 40s through the 70s. Then again, I may be a fan of the dark deco style because of Batman the Animated Series. Now the locations are designed to showcase the mundane routine of the humans, which is the opposite of the raving Rabbids, but somehow it works out great. Rabbids Go Home goes from cell shading to real-time lighting and refractions, water transparency, reflections, cool explosion effects, and many more. The music in this game is also excellent. I may not be a big fan of the likes of John Denver. I myself am a big Billy Joe and Tom Petty fan. But Ubisoft has a great soundtrack that captures the boring vibe that human life is supposedly all about. Now the Rabbids have more of a Louisiana jazz theme that's peppy and funny at the same time, and it works for the Rabbids. Like the last game, this Rabbids game has a boatload of humor, and yes, even some potty humor. Case in point, the Rabbids flush stuff down the toilet and then surf on a mattress in the sewers. Ew. While the gameplay itself is perfect, it's downright addicting, and that's part of its strength. I mean, I couldn't put this game down. I have no idea how long the game is, and I don't really care. This game is just so much fun and a laugh-out-loud great time. But in all honesty, what consumed most of our time was creating the bunnies. Swag first told me that I could make a K-Wing bunny, and K-Wife got very excited and began work on both K-Wing and Swag bunnies for this review, both which took about 4 hours to create. She's amazing, isn't she? Me, I've made some cool bunnies too, mainly stuff from my childhood like Voltron, G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters, Batman, Joker, and the Red Ranger Jason, etc., etc. As of right now, we have over 50 created bunnies, but I've only recorded about 30. And you've actually seen some of them showcased in this review already. But the ones that you're going to see now are the ones that I'm most proud, especially my Skeletor. Now this is probably the best designed bunny that I've made. Yeah, just look at how evil and demented my Skeletor bunny looks. But K-Wife also likes my He-Man, Donatello, and I thought they came out great. And you can just see the amount of time and effort that went into making these. The game even has a few unlockable minigames too, like music games, zapping your bunny, abusing the bunny, and my personal favorite is shaking a bunny in the Wiimote. Oh man, that's so much fun. All in all, this is a great Wii title, and I would pick it up for the little rabbit in your family. It has fun, solid, and addicting gameplay, great visuals, hilarious humor, challenging and downright zany levels, unlockable presents, and much more. So Game Night's Entertainment gives Rabbids Go Home for the Nintendo Wii an 8.2 out of 10. While Katamari and the Rabbids may be similar games, we think that the Bunnies have come a long way since their minigame days, and this game is wicked cool, and I hope the Bunnies continue to get their own series. Well, thanks so much for watching another of our video reviews. Keep it locked here for more of our trailers, gameplay vids, developer interviews, and our radio show every week. This is K-Wing as always saying God bless and happy gaming. Until we meet again, gamers. See ya.
Wondered how you could have found such a treasure. The gods have a plan for you, a destiny.
I've seen its power with my own eyes. Releasing the sand turns back time. Only the holder of the dagger is aware of what's happened. How did you do that?
Only the dagger can unlock the sands of time, and there are those who would use this power to destroy the world.
Time will erase everything.
The only way to stop this Armageddon is for us to take the dagger to the secret Guardian Temple. We must take it there, Dastan.
You really enjoy telling me what to do, don't you?
Only because you're so good at following orders.
Yeah, don't press your luck. The Sansons. They strike terror into the heart of all they cross.
Such a noble prince. Leaping to assist the fallen beauty.
Who said you were a beauty?
There must be a reason why you can't take your eyes off me.
You're... Find him!
The High Temple. It's guarded by some sort of demon. Dastan, where's the dagger?
You're welcome to search me for it. You'll have to be very thorough. It's time. We have to get out of here.
Well, we've come to the end of another great show. I hope you all enjoy it. If you have any submissions or a video you would like to suggest to The Edge to be featured, please send an email. Additionally, feel free to leave us an iTunes review if you have watched this via iTunes, and a comment over at the website, which, as most of you know, is www.thetotalgamer.com. As well as you can check out other fantastic shows. There's plenty of stuff there for every gamer, so head over to the site. And now I'll leave you here with this last video. So until next time, this has been JT from thetotalgamer.com. Catch you later.